After winning 3 championships in a row, the world thought Michael Jordan had everything: fame, fortune, legacy. But in the summer of 1993, all of that shattered. His father, James Jordan, was murdered, shot while sleeping in his car on a highway in North Carolina. It wasn't just tragic, it was suspicious. The media said it was a robbery gone wrong, but some insiders whispered it was connected to Michael's gambling, a debt unpaid, a warning sent through blood. Michael never confirmed those rumors. He simply disappeared. Just months after his father's death, the greatest basketball player on earth retired. No farewell tour, no goodbyes, just 2 words. I'm done. But he wasn't lost. He was mourning. Baseball was never random. It was the dream his father had for him before basketball ever existed in his life. And now, it was the only thing that made sense. He signed with the Chicago White Sox and started from the bottom, in the minor leagues. Reporters laughed. Critics called it a joke. But while others mocked him, Michael was waking up at 5 a.m., hitting in cages, chasing curveballs he couldn't read. He wasn't chasing trophies anymore. He was chasing peace and trying to find his father again, in every swing.
We called him crazy. What would the greatest basketball player on earth walk away to chase a childhood dream? He didn't care about critics, he cared about honoring his father. No sponsors, no crowds, just dirt, sweat, and silence. They laughed when he struck out, but they were not there when he showed up at the cage at 5 a.m. This wasn't about baseball. It's about grief, purpose, and proving he was more than just a game.
The world had moved on. Michael Jordan was no longer a headline. He was a memory. But behind closed doors, something was building. At 5 a.m., in secret gyms, he was training. Not just to play, but to dominate again. He showed up unannounced at Bulls practice, wearing baseball shorts, and destroyed everyone on the court. And then came 2 words. A fax, just 2 words. I'm back. He wore number 45, not 23. He said 23 was buried with his father, March 28, 1995, Madison Square Garden, New York, the place where he once dropped 50. That night, he dropped 55 points. But here's what most people don't know. That game wasn't just about numbers. He wore custom shoes that hadn't even been released. He ignored the coach's game plan and ran his own plays. And in the final seconds, tied game. Everyone expected him to shoot. But he passed to Bill Wennington, a no-name center, bucket, win. It wasn't just his return. It was his reminder. I can score whenever I want, but I came back to lead.
He was gone for 17 months. In his first week back, he dropped 55. No warm-up, no mercy. Just the greatest to ever do it, reminding the world that legends never fade. Every shot was a message. I'm not done yet.
He left the game again. No tears, no press tour, no speech. Just silence. But make no mistake, Michael Jordan wasn't retiring. He was leveling up. While fans mourned his exit, he was already in secret meetings with Nike. Not as a player, but as a partner. Here's what most people don't know. Nike didn't believe in him at first. In 1984, they offered him a deal out of fear he'd go to Adidas. Jordan hated the shoes. He didn't even want to sign. His mother made him take the meeting. But now, in retirement, Jordan flipped the script. He wasn't just endorsing, he was controlling. He demanded royalties, full design approval, and ownership over his name. And Nike agreed. Why? Because by 1998, the Air Jordan line alone was making more money than the entire Reebok brand. They didn't just build a shoe, they built a kingdom. And Jordan, he stopped being an athlete and became a brand that would outlive the game itself. He stepped off the court, but the game never left him. Because Michael Jordan didn't just change basketball, he changed business, culture, identity. After his final retirement, most people thought he'd fade into legend. But behind closed doors, the real game was just beginning. In 2003, Jordan Brand became its own empire. Not just a Nike sub-label, but a standalone division. And here's the truth. He earns 5% royalty on every Jordan shoe ever sold. That's more than $150 million every single year. Most people think Jordan Brand is about sneakers. It's not. It's about control. Every ad, every colorway, every retro release runs through his hands. His name is trademarked in over 130 countries. In 2020, while the world shut down, Jordan Brand crossed $5 billion in sales. Quietly. He now owns a NASCAR team. He sold part of the Charlotte Hornets for over $3 billion. And the craziest part? When a man refuses to stop winning.
Before the rings, before the fame, there was only his father, his first real hero. They called it a shoe, but for millions, it became a symbol of greatness. With one signature, he didn't just make a deal, he launched a revolution. In that moment, he didn't represent the brand, he became the brand.